Right, what's going on, family? The other laundromat, they done out of order majority of the dryers. So basically, like people there just sitting there looking docile, looking crazy, you know, because that was like a laundromat that I frequent too. So I guess they thought I was gonna be docile too and just sit and just. Then the dryers don't really work like that. So now, they got to recalibrate when you go to a different laundromat, but they're kind of out the way. But I had to be at a whole different laundromat. It's bigger and stuff like that. So it's just like, yeah. And every time that you go to like a new place or a new setting or anything like that, you just basically have to they have to recalibrate. You know what I'm saying? It takes a little while for the perps and the you know what I'm saying, for them to do their part and play their part. It takes them a little while. So, yeah, family, this is just what it is. This is my reality. It's what I got to go through. Yeah, the program gets to a point where, when you don't do things their way, they'll just try to make things toxic. They'll recycle the same things over and over. It become redundant. It's like the projections are like blah, blah, blah at this point. It's just a bunch of blah, 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 blah. And to get you to psych yourself out, that's the main thing. They're trying to get you to psych yourself out and, follow into their man-made projections. And the synthetic man-made projections with, sophisticated technology and stuff like that, they want you to think it's natural, that it's coming from a higher source or coming from God Almighty, but it's man-made, and just people are just playing in this role. It's just a narcissist organization playing this role. Everything just Superman made. This is the society that we live in. This is the new norm. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. This is how I make my videos. This is how I vent. You know what I mean? And I'm going to continue to make my videos and continue to vent regardless of how people feel or say. You know what I mean? I will not be making no lies. There's no point. It's controlled opposition. Like I said in my videos, it's controlled opposition. Not trying to make lies. I'm not trying to buddy. You know what I'm saying? I send my condolences. I send my respect to the TIs out there surviving, doing what they need to do. Because at one point in time where I was just solo dolo and just finding out about the program, I was curious about the community and, you know what I'm saying, about how people are. But I just noticed it's a bunch of controlled agents. And sooner or later, once you get around them, they'll start activating around you and, either cause you to self-sabotage or, you know what I'm saying, put you in a compromising situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's just people just playing a role on the internet. And that's cool. That's fine. That's why I just make my videos. I don't get on lives. I don't really hop on lives no more. I used to really think that, people were solid and stuff like that, and boom. But I don't hop, and even for even the solid ones that make lives and stuff like that, I'm not really hopping on it. It's not too much to say, you know what I'm saying? Only thing is my videos and documentation. If people still think I'm a perp or whatever, to this point, I don't even care. It's at this part, I'm in the part of life where, what's going on? All right. I'm at the part of life where I don't even care. I duck off. I go to work. I duck off. I stay to myself. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is just same redundant. Even the people around me, just the same redundant. You know what I'm saying? Weed, shrooms, alcohol, party, cigarette, same redundant, low vibrational things. You know what I'm saying? I have not yet got nobody to knock on the door with no type of Jehovah Witness template, no type of Bible, none of that. No type of, what happened to those people? What happened to even just, different religions? You know what I'm saying? Just no approach, no nothing, no high vibrational nothing. Even in a religious system, no high vibrational nothing. Everything's low vibrational. You know what I'm saying? Everything is just low vibrational. The conversation's low. You gotta dim your light just to get a laugh in and talk to people. You know what I'm saying? You know, and people say the same thing. Oh, I spend time with my family, and oh, family this, and oh, family that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's what's up. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? I'm sticking it out with my new family. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, like I said, redundant over and over, the reason why I can't be in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And even if I could be in Georgia, I wouldn't even want to be in Georgia. I wouldn't even want to be in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Hate the place. You know what I mean? So it's just like I'm just thankful, you know, for my new family. You know what I mean? I ain't worried about the indirect subliminals and stuff like that. Y'all be cool with y'all. Y'all be smooth and cool with y'all family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got to the point where I just don't care. You know what I'm saying? I just at the program, like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do, or it's just gonna be a redundant, stiff, same thing. You know what I'm saying? To get me to psych myself out. It's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? I just see the controlled opposition. Like people just like play with you, play with your mind, like, you know what I'm saying? Because they may seem like, oh, you know, he don't talk to anybody, he don't have nobody he rock with, he's really like closed off, he's really like in his own shell. You know what I'm saying? All right, like somebody get in there and open them up a little bit. We can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's just making his life like, I wouldn't say like a living hell. You know what I'm saying? Because I can move around, but it's just hard. You know, if any place that I frequent, or I go on a custom, or I normally go to, I usually go to, they'll compromise. They'll start taking the items that I usually like, I usually pick, or whatever washer dryer that I usually use, I usually pick. You know what I'm saying? Wherever place I go, they'll find tactics and methods and psychological ways, you know what I'm saying, to make it an uncomfortable, a delayed, out of order type of service. Like, basically saying you don't get no service here. You know what I'm saying? We'll treat an illegal immigrant better than we'll treat you. You know what I mean? You're like a blackballed U.S. citizen in this thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is, to me, yeah, this is crazy. You know what I mean? And it's just like, if we deprive them enough, if we push them away enough, you know what I'm saying, we'll make them that want to beg and be desperate to his abusers. You know what I'm saying? It's like a relationship like that. You know what I mean? Just deprive him from everything that's high vibrational, all the things that's good, and to confuse him and to make him want to be friends with his abusers. You know what I mean? And they'll play along with it at first. And then they'll just start doing the tactics when they're around their buddies or when they're out in public. You'll start seeing them doing the secret language. You know what I'm saying? And they'll just start doing things and gaslighting you. It's just like, I don't want to spend time with people like that. I don't want to be around people like that. You know what I mean? The whole time they trying to talk to you indirect, like they trying to talk to your spirit or something. You know what I'm saying? Like they trying to talk to a demon. You know what I'm saying? Like a darkness. If you have a darkness in you, it's like they trying to communicate with that. It's like they not. Like, I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to whatever's in there. It's that type of vibe. It's that type of feel. You know what I mean? I don't care about the popularity. You can have the popularity status. I don't care about none of that. You know what I mean? I thank God I wake up every day. I don't know how it is that I can show that I don't care, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's just what I got to live in this reality too. I got to make things work too. And being the tough guy, the whole tough guy role, the whole tough guy act is so out the window. This program, you can't operate off that type of energy. And it's just redundant. People give you the blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I wish somebody would do this. I wish somebody would do that. But when you know it's tactics, and when you know it's like people like, you know what I'm saying, waiting on your demise and stuff like that, you got to move with a certain, if people do you a certain way, you got, people you can report that to. You can report that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can't move in no way. Oh man, I could just pick a fight. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? Da da da. That's not the case. That's what the narrative that they want. They want you to look like this out of control black man, menace to society black man. Build up a case. You know what I'm saying? Be like, see, look. You know what I mean? This is who y'all got roaming around. You know what I mean? And it's like the narrative, they won't get that out of me. They won't get that aggression out of me. It took a while for me to learn that, but once I learned, I'm like, oh man, yeah. I see it. I see the codes. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care what type of projections they try to project, like soft or, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm free. I'm free as a birdie. I'm free as a birdie. You know what I'm saying? And they may be like, oh yeah, you free, but you ain't mentally free. You know what I'm saying? We still got you behind these psychological bars. So it's like a compromising point, but it's all how you look at it in your mental. Really, it's just the programming. We're so deep in our old programming. You know what I'm saying? That, you know what I mean? We gotta write our own programming just to survive in this type of reality, just to survive. Now, the things that they do to delay, compromise, it's just what comes with it. It just sucks. You know what I mean? It's just like adapting to some post-apocalyptic, dystopian type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you gotta adapt. Boom, disaster happens. You gotta learn to adapt. Like, you know, man-made things happen for them to try to send a message. This is out of service, out of order. The items that you like, things that you like, boom, out of order. Oh, you think you're gonna level up and move to out of that motel and think you're gonna get an apartment? We're gonna make it rough for you. Look at say, we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. This is what they, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, I'm just using this sign as just to describe the situation. Like, we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. And that's what they're doing as a whole in the totality. You know what I'm saying? The service, the system. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only so much they can do, but it's a lot that they could do. It's only so much they could do, but it's a lot what they could do within those guidelines. And it's all based on your action if it can get severe. It's based off how you react to it if it can get severe. You get what I'm saying? So I guess people are in different targetings and different programs, and you know what I'm saying? Mine is more severe. They're trying to make me be, you know what I'm saying, something that's out of my character. So how they do that is they do death by 1,000 cuts. They do minuscule build-up tactics to provoke you to anger, provoke you to rage, you know what I'm saying, provoke you to desperacy. You know what I mean? To get a certain reaction out of you, to create this certain narrative, to be like, oh, this is what this person is. You know what I'm saying? But it don't work. At my job, people constantly, you know, fake one day. They, you know what I'm saying? Even no matter what type of colors they wear, they still have the same energy. No matter what type of colors they wear. So it's like the color coordination don't mean nothing. I look at the color coordination as them just communicating with themselves are the gullible, docile people in society. But majority just them communicating with themselves. So the color coordination don't have nothing to do with you. It's just them communicating with themselves. Because I've seen these people wear all type of colors and have the same type of energy, and just play these games with you. Play this fakery. You know what I'm saying? Act like they cool with you. You know what I mean? But they're really not. You know what I'm saying? They really want you locked away, tucked away somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they could, you know, eliminate you, they would eliminate you. You know what I'm saying? But remember, the name of the game is plausible deniability. They'll do things in ways where it won't go back to them. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's good to document. That's why it's good to show people the patterns. Show people, you know what I'm saying, what's going on in your reality. Because if not, you don't say nothing, you don't speak, you don't make videos, you just on survival mode, I guess. You just taking the abuse, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Or even if me making videos is not even working, because I see like they control the cyberspace, they control the networks, they control who comments, they controls who watch it, they controls what algorithm it pops up on. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna say it's useless because it's therapeutic for me. It's therapeutic for me, and it shows like if there are, it shows the real TIs. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you're not alone. You know what I'm saying? And also just building up on my evidence too. You know what I mean? I know if go to a police officer or go to the law, I can't present plausible deniability. Like the documents that I show, I have to present them. You know, actual offense of the crime. It has to be an actual offense of the law. It has to, you actually have to see somebody breaking the law. You actually have to see somebody actually bullying you and threatening you in a way where it can't be denied. You know what I'm saying? But in my reality, you know, they're going beneath those guidelines. They're sneaking into the cracks through the possible deniability and finding ways to psych me out through conditioning my mind. They couldn't have done this years ago before the Tartan because I wasn't comprehended. You have to be conditioned for this stuff. You know what I mean? They put you in scenarios. They play street theater. They, you know what I mean? Advertisements. You know, repetitive conditioning to condition your mind. Then it starts to take effect. You start looking at things and your certain parts of your brain starts processing things in a whole nother way. You know what I mean? You start being sensitized and looking at things that you wouldn't normally look at. That's why when you try to show these things to people, they're not conditioned like you're conditioned. They're not sensitized like you are sensitized. So, like, it's like, what can you tell them? What can you tell them? It's very sophisticated. It's very CIA type method. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I got on a lot of my, if you look at my posts, I got a lot of stuff on the different CIA tactics, where this stuff kind of birthed from. You know what I mean? Like the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, they are cold when it comes to the mental. They are cold when it comes to the mental. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think, when you're dealing with people that have powerful people in their pocket, they're going to use all their resources. And some people be like, well, why do you think the CIA or the FBI would have any dealings, would waste their time with you? When you're in this program, you know what I'm talking about. That's all I can say. When you're in this program, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? They're using people of all positions, ambulances, police officers, people of all positions to do these same tactics. You know what I mean? You know, and they act like they don't know what's going on, but in our reality, they do. The secret codes are, you know what I mean, conditioning your mind where you can look at things. It's crazy. It's like you can look at laundry detergent, and the laundry detergent, word on the laundry detergent may have just a simple brand name, but they done condition you to comprehend something out of it. Now it's like something like, it's like they create offenses. You know what I mean? They create things to make you feel uncomfortable. That's all part of the psyche. The psyching your mind out. You know what I'm saying? And some of this stuff be feeling supernatural too. Like what I said in my like in the post with the CIA. Like the CIA, man. Like a lot of the demoralization of society, a lot of the you know what I mean, terrorist things going on, a lot of the crime rate, a lot of people mental health and stuff like that. It has a lot to do with these strategies of the CIA. You know what I'm saying? Poverty-stricken places. You know what I'm saying? It has a lot to do with the conditioning and the strategies, the psychological strategies of the CIA. You know what I mean? Some of this stuff be feeling like it's supernatural. Like I said, CIA even be linking up with psychics. Like they recruit psychics. They recruit people that have gifts, talents, abilities. You know what I'm saying? They recruit and use them for service. I'm pretty sure they pay them. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they just abduct them and keep them locked away like some Area 51 alien type stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless, they've been deemed a criminal or something like that. But as far, they just recruit them and use them. You know what I'm saying? And I guess in these people's perspective and their reality of what they think, they might look at it and think like, oh, this this person is a bad person. What I'm doing is something good. You know what I'm saying? It's for the good of the community. You know what I mean? It's just like the military. The military ain't gonna ask no questions. They're gonna do what they told to do. Military ain't gonna ask no questions. They just gonna do what they told to do. You know what I mean? Even if it's right or wrong, they gonna go out there and do, and they think they doing it for the service of their country. So they go and these wars, these man-made wars and stuff like that, and thinking that, weapons of mass destruction and all this, and there's actual real life terrorists out here, and they're a threat to the American people. They're not a threat to the American people. You know what I mean? They've just became a target to the system. It's something that the system can benefit off of that war that they send. So it's like something about the target that they can benefit off. You know what I'm saying? They're not just doing it. It's some type of resource. It's something that they can use. You like their natural resource, like oil, diamonds. You know what I'm saying? It's some type of resource to them that they can use. You know what I'm saying? And that's the name of the game. They don't care if it's good or bad. They gonna ride. They gonna do what they told. And it's just the name of the game. You know what I'm saying? Of the American people, the program, even the international people, even people that's not American. People gonna do what they do out of desperacy, out of money, out of just been conditioned to have a passive mind just to do what they told. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a lot of people that are just ready to be told what to do. They just ready to be told what to do. You know what I'm saying? This is the reality that we live in. This is something that they try to, force you in. You know what I mean? The projections. Like I said, I just really rock to myself. Got my little moped right here. Just got a new little moped. A little something to get me going, get me from point A to point B. Not bragging or nothing like that. Just a little transportation to get me from point A to point B. I like the color orange. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because it's not a color that the abusers use. They can try to demonize the colors, but it's not something that I've seen them use a lot in my targeting. I know other people said that orange has been in their targeting. You know what I mean? They say orange is a Masonic color. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but the orange to me, how I pick it up is a positive reinforcement for me. You know what I mean? Orange is like the fruit orange, vitamin C, boosts the immune system, keeps your body working. Construction colors is orange. The work signs is orange. It's a lot of positivity with the color orange, other than Halloween. You know what I'm saying? But orange is a to me is a positive color. Any color is a positive color is how you comprehend it. But I know in this targeting, I don't see a lot of people with orange, and when I do see people with orange, they mean business. They mean business. When I see orange, I know people ain't playing. They mean business. They came to do what they came to do, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like anything else other than that, outside of that, it really don't matter. I really don't be caring. My whole main thing is just do what I need to do. Get my clothes and just kind of go from there. That's it. That's all it is to it. I don't be caring about. I don't be caring about making friends. Or, you know what I'm saying? Of course, people are social creatures and like to talk, but I'm not gonna sit here and associate myself with people, you know what I'm saying, that want to do the tactics, psych me out, and play like they cool just to get information out of me or just to put me in a self-sabotaging situation or a desperate situation. I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm really cool on that. You know what I mean? I thought to give people a chance early on in my targeting. I thought to try to rock with people early on in my targeting and even with the coworkers, but they always show their hand and never fails. They got to do what they got to do. So it just led to show me that the end goal for that is for me to lower my vibration. The end goal for that is for me to let my guard down. The end goal for that, you know what I'm saying, is me to participate in some low vibration. You know what I mean? Because they're not bringing spiritual, religious, people around me. The last religious people that was around me, I had to come to them. You get what I'm saying? I had to go to their establishment. I had no idea these were religious people. I went to their establishment. They gave me a chance. You know what I'm saying? But the money was scarce. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta provide for my new family. So I need a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? And then guess what? When I left their establishment, guess what? Their establishment closed down. You know what I'm saying? The whole time me being there, I heard they said nothing about their establishment being closed down. They said nothing like that at all. You know what I mean? They ain't say nothing like that at all about the establishment or anything like that. As soon as I leave, the establishment is being closed down. All the way down. Down. So they don't try to push spiritual, religious people to me. You get what I'm saying? And then when I go to the churches be seeming like concerts. You get what I'm saying? It's like quick sermons, like quick flips through the scriptures. It's not like a deep diagnosis of like, you know what I'm saying? Really getting in the scriptures, really feeling the conviction. You know what I'm saying? Really it's just like quick word, over with, quick out. You know what I'm saying? Pay me my money. You know what I mean? Like y'all want to go out to places. We got little concerts and things going on and festivities going on. It's like, nah, it just doesn't marinate. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I like, where's the real strong, high vibrational people? Not just, one day of the week they put on this mask. Then the rest of the week, you know what I'm saying? This other person. You get what I'm saying? And even people like that, you can't even tell them apart from the people of the world. You can't even tell them apart. Not just the clothes and stuff like that, but just how they move, how they carry themselves. Because the people of the world, they've been programmed too to play nice. You know what I'm saying? But they still do low vibrational things while they playing nice, and they still do you nasty with these psychological tactics. You know what I mean? And things like that. So it's just like, nah, I ain't gonna waste my time, waste my energy with none of that. So that's the name of the game. I'm gonna keep doing what I need to do. I'm gonna keep striving. I'm gonna keep driving. Ain't nobody can psych me out any kind of way. You know what I mean? My guard is always gonna be up continually. And I'm just gonna let it play like that from there. All right, trying to get through. My bad. Oh, you good? All right, let me see if I can find me a little something to put these clothes in here. Yeah, that's the name of the game. I just got to the point where I don't even care no more. I really don't. I mean, I care enough that, I ain't going to take myself out. I know that's something they would like to hear. They be putting all type of advertisement about, are you depressed? Do you need to see a therapist? All this type of stuff. Oh, if you're thinking about suicide, please call this number. All this type of stuff. I'll be damned before I take myself out like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still free as a birdie. Even though they don't think I'm mentally free, I'm still physically free as a birdie. And I'll be damned before I let somebody put me in a compromising situation where they can take that away from me. They've been working so hard to break me down. They've been working so hard to break me down. That's what makes me work so hard, stay free and do me. You know what I'm saying? And I've been on a nice stretch, because usually, before this programming, I wouldn't keep a job this long. You know what I'm saying? I'll work a job and I'll take a break. I always have a place to go to like, excuse me, right behind you. Oop. Right on, dang, this thing act like it don't want to move. Man, they got some big drives in here. See what dry to use. Use this one right here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got a baby sock in here. What the heck? I did that to myself. Why dry with a baby sock? Alright. Put this on in here. That's why I'm at my target. I don't be caring. Like, people talk to me, I talk with them. As soon as they start doing the tactics and all that stuff like that, I just be on autopilot. I just be like, man, hurry up and get done with the conversation so I can do what I need to do and get back to where I need to be. It's just redundancy. If it's high vibrational, if people talk high vibrational, they talk about, something I can really mix with. Because really the only thing that I can mix with at this point is with God. There's no setbacks. There's no setbacks on I don't know what. Like anything outside of it is not going to be good. I don't care how fabricated they try to put vibration to it. It's not going to be good. Really don't want no parts of that. I really don't want no kind of parts to that. Let me see. 20 minutes might be good. Let me put this for 20 minutes. Oh, shoot. Wrong one. Oh, dang it. Dang, wrong one. What is this? The mental fatigue. I thought it was like the other dryer and stuff, but no, should have paid attention. It's all good though. It is what it is. Like I said, I do not be caring. You know what I'm saying? Just moving around, this new place, new establishment. Alright, figure out where I'm gonna. Dang, this cart. I'll just leave that there. Go back to doing what I was doing, making my video. Like I said, welcome to the new reality. Welcome to it. Welcome to the new reality. Where people think that they can deprive you of so many things that you're going to actually start to believe these folks, you know what I mean? Start to believe the lies. That's what they want to get you. They want to psych you. They want to break your mental to get you where you start believing the lies because they like, where else you going to go? That's what I mean by the controlled opposition in this TI community. They be having parts and bits of information about you, and they play these narcissistic games, like basically where you gonna go? You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it, they don't know, like you can rock it out solo dolo, really. You know what I'm saying? But it's not everything else is redundant, blah, blah, blah. It's not a lot of content where people really talking about anything, but it's like you get the entertainment just to get the day to go by and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You watch people's videos and get their perspectives and stuff like that, but you yourself, well, me, speaking to me, I know I don't really want to be a part of none of that. I feel sorry for the people going through the same victimhood that I'm going through. and stuff like that. And I hope like my videos can encourage you. But as far as me reaching out, as far as me protesting and being part, it's compromise. I don't get that. You know what I mean? Yeah, they use dumb, docile people, but the handlers, the people behind the scenes, these are intelligent people. These are intelligent. These are people that know how to operate off emotional intelligence. They know how the psyche works. You know what I'm saying? They even got to a point where they kind of know how your psyche works. They know what ticks you off. They know what you like based off the hormone releases in your brain. They know when you're nervous. They know when you have anxiety. They know when you have fear. That's why they do these like experiments with the noise campaign to try to see if it releases that fear hormone, releases certain things. So they'll know. They want to know what scares you. They want to know what makes you nervous. They want to know what makes you anxiety, so that they can use these things to condition you. You know what I'm saying? And they keep doing the same thing repetitively over and over and over, so that they can get, you know what I mean, a certain type of result, a certain type of response out of you. You know what I mean? And they'll do it over and over and over and over. And they'll try to make things look as normal as possible. That's the name of the game, as normal as possible. You know what I'm saying? For example, what is the main color that you see in this room? You see different colors, but the main color you're going to see blue. She got on blue. He got on blue. But it's sitting down, got on blue. Blue. Right there, blue cup. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too deep into color coordination, but you know what I mean? They be talking to themselves. The community talk to themselves on that when it comes to the color. But just notice that, the black is just boom, but you just notice the blue. Blue, blue, blue. You know what I'm saying? Community gonna do what the community gonna do. Excuse me. The community gonna do what the community gonna do. You know what I'm saying? But I look at stuff like that, like with majority of the colors and things like that. I look at stuff like that. I know what these folks be on. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. My thing is try not to let them colors produce a certain response. Look, buddy riding on the bike. Guess what color he got on? Blue. This is what they recalibrating. Because before it was red, blue. That's a language it's a secret language to the community. For the people in the program, you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We know what's going on. So it is what it is. But like I said, I just be rocking it solo dolo. You know what I mean? Playing my part, doing what I need to do. Staying out the way. I let the puppets talk to me. I talk back respectfully. As soon as they start doing the tactics, as soon as they start getting activated, because it's like once they go around you, it's like they just activate. It's like they walk into a frequency. It's like there's a frequency that is just around you. And people, when they walk into that frequency bubble, they just activate. It just like it's invisibly electrocuting them, and they just activate and they just start doing this. Like before they even get to your proximity, they might be all normal and stuff, but as soon as they get in that frequency radius, you know what I'm saying, they just start activating. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And they've been trying to use the honey traps on me super duper heavy. They've been trying to use the honey traps on me super duper heavy. They've been trying to use, super duper heavy. You know what I mean? I got the job. And it's not, I already know, you know what I mean? It's not because they trying to give me a doggy bone, or it's not that, you know what I'm saying? It's basically, because they don't want, like in this narrative, in this program, they want to create a profile on you where nobody rock with you, which is going to be hard, it's going to be rare. But to have everybody on the same mindset about, though, just do him any type of way, because God fearing people, you know what I mean? Like boom, they gonna rock with you. But if they see you doing things like there's evident, like cheating, stealing, murdering, or some very bad sexual deviancy, you know what I'm saying? They gonna rock with the negative reinforcement to get you on out the way. You know what I'm saying? But if they see that you ain't doing any of these things, they gotta create it. You know what I'm saying? They gotta stand on what they say. They gotta stand on their integrity that you a bad person. So you got people that's really standing on you a bad person. They didn't think that you was gonna be able to hold down a job. They didn't think that you was going to be able to obtain these things, and you know what I'm saying? They thought I was just going to be dependent on my wife. Like I was going to have her doing all the hard work, you know what I'm saying? And I just be lazy and live like a king. And you know what I mean? Ain't nobody going to go for that. They might go for that for a little bit, but ain't nobody going to go for that for too long, especially if you ain't generating no money and staying afloat. And no matter what you got dangling, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going for that. Sooner or later, just like, they gonna move on. You get what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna go for that. Now I've seen relationships and things like that where there was a person that didn't really work that long, and he made it work. You know what I'm saying? It's only a scarce few of people that can do that. Mainly a lot of people in the hood. But on a mass scale of people and stuff, you ain't gonna be able to get away with that for too long. And you know what I'm saying? This program's helped me to be better. So it's like I showed that I can work. I can show that even through the face of adversity. You know what I'm saying? I can show it even through the antisocial phases that your boy got to go through. I done showed them I can still maintain. So now they send the honey traps. You know what I'm saying? Especially at my work. Especially at my job, they'll send like the honey traps and stuff. And the whole thing is to create the narrative. See, I told you he ain't no faithful person. You know what I'm saying? He ain't faithful or nothing like that. Look, he'll cheat. He'll do this. He'll cheat. So once they create that narrative, oh, he'll cheat. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Then they can go ahead and recalibrate. Recalibrate, meaning they can go ahead and just condition. When they recalibrate, it's a shift that goes on. You can kind of see it's a shift. The recalibrating is like a shift. It's like a strategic shift. You know what I'm saying? A different strategic shift. They'll start sensitizing you to things. You'll see it slowly but surely, and then it'll be like everywhere you go. Then everybody will play their part and picking at you with this shift. So like, let's say I did cheat, right? The example of the shift, next thing you know, it'll be like a bunch of bags of Cheetos. I'll be like, Cheetos. You know what I'm saying? Or it'll be people saying indirects. You know what I mean? Be like, oh man, my partner of mine just I got caught cheating on this girl. So and they'll probably say that around your girl and all type of stuff. They'll have advertisement. People have shirts that say cheaters on it. You know what I'm saying? You'll have the animal cheetah. Like this is an example of like the recalibrating how I'm not saying that's what they're doing to me, but I'm just giving you ideas on this is like the type of stuff they'll do. You know what I mean? And then they'll sensitize you to it. You know what I'm saying? Boom, and bash you, and then they'll be like, yeah, this is the reason why you're being severely punished. So they'll psych you out and make you think, oh, you know what I mean? This is why you're being punished. God has punished you for this. Not like it's not man-made or synthetic or that's created, you know what I'm saying? To break the psyche, to condition the mind, to condition the psyche. You know what I'm saying? This is the examples that they do of trying to condition your psyche condition your mind to get you thinking a certain type of way, to get you receiving things a certain type of way. So they recalibrated a couple times in my target. You get what I mean? It'd be a shift. It's basically like when the old targeting gets old and redundant, the puppet's gonna do it until they last breath. You know what I'm saying? It don't get old to them, but for the handlers and for the people, they're like, it's really not, it's causing the effect, but it's not causing the effect that we're expecting and the duration of the time that we're expecting. So if they feel like they have something better to run with, they're going to recalibrate to something better. So it's usually based upon your self-sabotaging actions after that. So whatever self-sabotaging action or whatever that you get psyched out to do, then that gives them the button to recalibrate and capitalize off that weak spot. You get what I'm saying? Because they recalibrated. When I, for example, what's the example of recalibrating? When I relapse back on drugs. So I relapse back on drugs. And when I mess around and I relapse back on drugs, you know what I'm saying? I relapse back on crystal meth. You know, that's not something to brag about. That's not weed. You know what I'm saying? That's not pills. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard drug. You know what I mean? That's not something to brag about. So when I got back on that, like things was burning, like the punishment, the positive reinforcement, things was like the docile people were activating. They were just burning their rooms. They were just setting their room on fire, and they looked docile about it. You know what I'm saying? They just turned docile, like docile to the point where if you ever seen Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, and there was a place called Rohan. And in Rohan, there was a king. I forgot the king's name. Dang. But he was bewitched by this Professor Snape-looking dude. He was bewitched by him. And if you looked at him, he looked bewitched and docile. He looked bewitched and docile. And then when Gandalf the White popped off in that thing. You know what I'm saying? Hit him with the boom, 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 and he got right. He cured him from that bewitchment. You know what I'm saying? Gandalf the White got him right, and boom. This is how the program. Like they had people just docile around me, just activating, just setting their room on fire. You know what I'm saying? So the first room that got set on fire in the motel, I was like, dang, but I still went back to the drugs. So couple of days later, it was another fire. So that was, I gotta, the punishment, I gotta stop. But then the recalibration of the tactics, like Coca-Cola, speedy this, speedy that, method this, method man, just certain things. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they'll have those certain things. They'll have the stuff on the ground, like the crackhead lighters on the ground, or people have indirect conversations about addict, about rehab, about crackhead and stuff like that. So they when they recalibrated, this is all what they were sticking with. But when they seen that I really cleaned myself up, and you know what I'm saying, not just from the crystal meth, but also like the alcohol, you know what I mean? It just goes against their nature. So now, once they see now I'm deprived and antisocial to people, a lot of people come up to me with weed, shrooms, drink, beer, alcohol. This is just beer. It's just a little alcohol. This ain't gonna do you. This ain't gonna do you nothing. You know what I'm saying? You could vibe with this. You know what I mean? You can vibe with this. It's legal. Like, nah, those are gateways. Those are portals. You know what I mean? It's different ways to deal with your mental health and different ways to deal with our artificial community than just coping with drinking and stuff like that. And coping with drinking, it puts your guard down. So now you done dimmed your light. So now it's like they can kick it with you for a little minute, you know what I mean, before they ramp up the tactics on you. And that's what they want. It's just like they want to kick it with you to get information to see what can they recalibrate off, what can the shift be for them to get absolute results. But as long as you stand to yourself, as long as you're doing things the right way, it might not seem like the right way to them, It might not seem like the best life to them, you know what I mean? But I'm free. I'm free, baby. I'm free as a bird. So even though this free life may not seem like the best life, you know what I mean? I'm gonna make it work for me. You know, sometimes you just have to have that point to prove. You feel me? What do you value? What do you value? That's the name of the game. What do you value? And that's just how it's gonna go, family. That's just how it's gonna. Wait, is this me? Oh yeah. This is me because I had that dryer. Bottom got 3 minutes left of that thing, man. Yup. See if we can catch an indirect. But yeah, family, this is my reality. This is what's going on with me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna stay free. I'm gonna stay free, baby. You know what I mean? So I don't care what people's videos, what indirect subliminals they make. It is what it is. I feel like I'm winning at the end of the day. That I can wake up, have a roof over my head, you know what I'm saying, and have a job like that. I thank God for that. Anything outside of that is just a show. A show that I have to be forced to watch. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna get me to compromise. I see the codes. They act like you don't even know what's going on. That's the coldness of it. They do these tactics like you don't, like it's still covert. They do the harassment like it's still covert. Like they're still secretly. So if it was covert, they could use satellites. They be in the shadows. It's over. But they sit here and gaslight you. Like they act like they do things and act like they don't know that you know. Like who you think you fooling? Who you think you fooling? And with that being said, family, God bless. Y'all hold your head. Peace.